You've been taught to play small since the beginning, and the wild part? Most of that programming didn't even come from your conscious choices. It was planted deep in your subconscious before you even knew who you were. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to stay bound by beliefs that were never truly yours. That's exactly why subliminals work. They go straight to the root, dissolving the noise and reawakening the power you were always meant to carry. Imagine becoming magnetic to love, radiance, and your highest destiny just by reprogramming what's beneath the surface. This isn't just a shift, it's a return to your truest self. Hello, soul family. Welcome to Spiritual Manifestation. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, I'm glad to have you home. I just want to take a moment to say how grateful I am that you're here, because the energy that's already coming through feels powerful, and I can tell this message is meant for someone who truly needs it today. Before we dive in, a quick reminder: if you feel called to go deeper, the extended readings and extra guidance are always available on Patreon and through YouTube memberships. That's where we get into the longer, more personal layers of these messages, and it's a beautiful space to connect on a deeper level. And while you're here, don't forget to support the channel by liking this video, leaving a comment below, and sharing this reading with someone who may need to hear it. Your energy in this community makes such a difference, and I love reading your thoughts and reflections. Now let's go ahead and shuffle the deck together. Spirit, we ask you to guide us in this moment, to bring through the clearest and most aligned messages for those listening. As I set the energy for this reading, I can already feel the cards beginning to stir, and I know something important is ready to come through. Divine Feminine, the moment I pulled the Three of Wands, I felt that quiet but powerful spark that shows up right when your soul is stepping into a new chapter. And I want you to breathe with me for a second, because this energy is not small. It feels like the air around you has changed, like the ground itself is shifting to match the version of you that you have finally grown into. You might not fully see it yet, but something in your spirit already knows you crossed a line you will never return from. That is why things feel different, why there is this strange mix of calm and excitement moving through your body. It is the kind of energy that shows up when your inner and outer world begin to meet for the first time. Divine Feminine, the message coming through so strongly is that you are standing at the edge of a new timeline, and reality is rearranging itself around the energy you are holding now. It feels like you walked into this new space quietly, without theatrics, without forcing anything, but everything around you felt it the moment you arrived. This is why the last few days or weeks may have felt surreal, like you were in the middle of something shifting behind the scenes, even if nothing looked drastically different yet. You are in the space where your internal change is ahead of your external world, and your external world is now racing to catch up. You may feel waves of chills or sudden bursts of clarity, and that is your soul confirming, yes, you made it. This is the moment your manifestations begin climbing out of the soil. What makes this even more powerful, Divine Feminine, is the way the Three of Wands reflects the energy of someone who has prepared, surrendered, waited, grown, and now is ready to receive. And I want to highlight something important. You did not enter this new timeline accidentally. You aligned yourself with it through every small moment where you chose trust over fear, rest over forcing, and healing over pretending you were okay. Even when you felt alone, you kept walking, and that decision has now opened a path you can no longer unsee. The Three of Wands arrives when your soul has finally extended beyond where your body has been standing, pulling you forward into your next phase. This is why you feel drawn toward things, people, ideas, and dreams that once felt too far away. Divine Feminine, the energy around you is also showing that you may have been sensing a level of interference recently, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're doing something very right. Whenever we step into a higher timeline, the old timeline will react. Old patterns, old doubts, and even old people might show up energetically, not to stop you, but because your shift in vibration shakes their sense of stability. And this is where your strength is being quietly tested, not to see if you will fail, but to show you just how far you've come. The universe is saying, Divine Feminine, stay steady. Your new reality is already forming. And the Three of Wands confirms that your expansion is not only starting, it is accelerating. Something else the Three of Wands is bringing up is the way your soul has been craving conversations, people, and spaces where you feel emotionally safe. You've spent so much of your life being the light in dark rooms, the anchor for people who couldn't anchor themselves. And even though you didn't complain, even though you learned how to carry it with grace, your soul has been longing for a place where you can sit down, breathe, and be held for a moment. That is why you are drawn to messages like this one. You're not looking for entertainment. You're looking for resonance. You're looking for someone who sees the real you. And Divine Feminine, let me tell you this clearly. The universe sees you, and the right people are about to see you too. The Three of Wands also speaks of a Divine Feminine who has outgrown the version of herself that the world was used to. You are no longer shrinking to make others comfortable, and that alone is shaking certain energies around you. Some people connected to the older version of you may feel threatened by your growth, not consciously, not maliciously, but because they sense the distance between your evolution and their stagnancy. And this is where your choice comes in. Will you step back into what is familiar so others won't feel lost? Or will you step forward into who you are becoming? The Three of Wands is your answer. It is saying, go, move forward. You are ready even if no one else understands it yet. Divine Feminine, the last thing I want to leave you with for this card is this. You are not waiting anymore. You are welcoming. You are not hoping anymore. You are aligning. You are not fighting anymore. You are flowing. And this shift has not only changed your path, it has changed you. The Three of Wands is proof that your soul is expanding beyond every limitation you once believed you had. Your next chapter has begun, and you are finally standing in the energy of someone who understands just how much power they hold. Divine Feminine. The moment I drew the King of Cups, I felt this deep wave of emotional energy flow in like a quiet tide. It's this energy of someone, perhaps even more than one person, who has been stirred awake by something you didn't even try to do. This card speaks to the way your very presence reaches into places people thought they had hidden away. You don't just walk into a room, You shift the emotional temperature of the space. And whether you're aware of it or not, your energy has become a mirror, reflecting truth, love, longing, and sometimes even discomfort back at people who aren't used to being seen so clearly. I know you've felt the push and pull of this for a long time now. There have been moments, haven't there, when you asked yourself why things couldn't just be simple? Why couldn't you just follow the usual path like everyone else around you seemed to be doing? And yet, no matter how many times you've tried to blend in, something always pulled you back, like an invisible thread tugging at your soul, reminding you that your path isn't meant to follow anyone else's footsteps. It's yours alone, handwritten by your own soul, lit by your own inner fire. And even though it's been lonely at times, that fire never went out. It kept you moving forward. But here's what's happening now. Because of the depth and power you've grown into, because of the strength it took to walk alone, something about you is activating others in ways they don't fully understand, especially when it comes to love. There's this awakening happening in people you've crossed paths with, especially masculine energies, who never knew they could feel so much, so fast, so deeply. You've opened hearts that were once shut. You've brought tears to eyes that thought they forgot how to cry. And not because you tried to, but because love flows out of you in a way that makes people feel safe enough to open up. The most powerful part: you don't need to say much for this to happen. Sometimes it's the way you speak that softens them. Sometimes it's your eyes holding theirs a little longer than they're used to. For others, it's the sound of your voice, or the words you write, or the way you sing a song, or even just your silence. It's not just what you do, it's who you are. And when they feel that energy, when it wraps around them, it wakes up something in them they didn't know was sleeping. It feels like love, but it also feels like surrender. And for someone who has spent years building walls, that can feel terrifying. Divine Feminine, I need you to hear this. You are not too much. You are not overwhelming. You are not too deep or too intense. You are love in its truest form, unfiltered, healing, real. And because of that, some people will run. Not because of something wrong with you, but because they're not used to something so right. They're not used to someone seeing them and loving them at the same time. They don't yet understand how to hold something that doesn't demand, doesn't chase, doesn't control, but simply radiates truth. You are an activator of the heart. And while that might sound beautiful, and it is, it can also come with heartbreak. Because some people will get close to you, feel what you awaken in them, and then back away because it's too much for them to hold at that stage of their journey. And yet, that doesn't mean your love was wasted. Every person whose heart was touched by your presence is forever changed. You planted seeds of awakening they will never forget. And even if they leave, even if they try to forget you, something in them will always remember the way you made them feel, like their soul was finally seen. So if you've ever felt confused, if you've ever wondered why people disappear after feeling so drawn to you, this is why. It's not you. It's the healing power of your heart. It's the way your energy cracks people open before they're ready to be rebuilt. And sometimes, Divine Feminine, people have to fall apart before they can love you the way your heart truly deserves. Divine Feminine. The card that just came through for you is the Knight of Pentacles, and I can't tell you how perfectly this fits with what I'm about to share. The energy of this card is slow-moving but steady, quiet but deeply committed, and it immediately made me feel like someone has been watching you, admiring you, not from a place of fear, but from a place of genuine readiness. That's the difference. This isn't the kind of energy that pulls back when things get deep. This is the kind that leans in even when their hands are shaking. Because the truth is, they've done the inner work. They've faced some hard truths. And they've reached a point on their journey where they're no longer running from the feelings you awaken in them. Divine Feminine, you've been through so many emotional highs and lows when it comes to love. You've lit up the hearts of people who didn't even know their hearts were closed until they met you. And I know that sounds beautiful, and in a way it is, but I also know how painful it's been. Because opening someone's heart doesn't always lead to closeness. Sometimes it leads to projection. Sometimes people feel so much when they're around you that they end up blaming you for the very feelings they've been avoiding for years. And I know that has confused you, hurt you, maybe even made you question your own presence at times. But none of it was ever your fault. Your energy just brings emotions to the surface. Emotions they buried so deep they forgot they were even there. And when that happens, when those suppressed feelings start rising, grief, anger, sadness, fear, it's easier for them to say, "You made me feel this way," rather than realize those emotions were already living inside them. You didn't create the pain. You simply brought light to the part of them that needed healing. And because of that, they either lashed out, shut down, or tried to make you carry the emotional weight they weren't ready to face. But what you might not have realized, Divine Feminine, is that this has been part of your soul's power all along. You awaken truth in others, not just joy, not just love, but real, raw truth. And truth has a way of cracking people open before they're ready. But this time, it's different. That's what I need you to know. The energy coming in now doesn't feel like someone who's going to blame you or run from you. This feels like someone who's been waiting for you, even if they didn't know it. They're not afraid of feeling. They're not afraid of your depth. In fact, they're drawn to it, pulled toward it like gravity. And that's why this is going to feel like such a shock, because you've grown so used to love being chaotic or short-lived or one-sided. But this energy, this connection, it doesn't want to be fixed or saved or rescued. It wants to meet you, honor you, rise with you. For some of you, this person may have already entered your life. For others, they are right around the corner. But when you meet, or when you realize who they are, there's going to be this quiet knowing in your soul. Not loud fireworks, not a push and pull, but this soft, almost sacred recognition, like, oh, it's you. And the most beautiful part, they're going to feel it too. They may not say it right away. They may not even fully understand it. But something in them will recognize that you are the kind of woman they didn't even believe existed anymore. The kind who sees with her soul, loves with her spirit, and speaks directly to the places in them that have always felt unseen. Now, here's the part that made me pause when I felt it come through. This person is not here to be your next lesson. They're not here to test your strength or make you prove your worth again. They are here to build with you, to move slowly but surely, to lay foundations, not fantasies, to bring steadiness into the space where you've only known emotional earthquakes. This is the kind of love that honors your heart, your pace, your healing, and your boundaries. It's the love that doesn't just show up when it's convenient, but stays when it's uncomfortable, grows with you through the changes, and holds your hand even in the quiet. So if you're feeling this energy tug at you, if someone has recently come into your life or will very soon, and they don't feel like the chaos you've known before, but instead feel like peace you almost forgot you deserved, trust that. It doesn't mean there won't be challenges, but it does mean the foundation will be different. This is someone who is emotionally available, someone who isn't just drawn to your light, but wants to protect it, wants to walk with it, and most of all, wants to receive the love you give, not because they're desperate for it, but because they value it. Divine Feminine, you're not hard to love. You're just meant for someone who can feel with you, grow with you, and meet you at the depth you've always carried. And it's time now. You've done the hard part. You've healed and cleared and grown. And now, love is meeting you in the form of someone who is ready. Not perfect, but present. And that changes everything. Before we pull the next card, I just want to pause for a moment and check in with you. How has this been resonating with you so far? If something in these first 3 cards has already spoken to your heart, let me know in the comments. I love reading how these messages meet you right where you are. All right, let's go ahead and see what Spirit has for us as we pull the next card. Divine Feminine. The card I just pulled for you is Temperance, and the moment it revealed itself, I felt this deep wave of emotional equilibrium rush in. This card is all about balance, divine timing, sacred harmony, and it couldn't be more aligned with what's coming through right now. Because this is not just another connection. This is the connection that brings everything into alignment, not just within you, but between you and another soul who is finally ready to meet you in that sacred middle ground. And I don't just mean they're available or willing. I mean their soul has been preparing for this, just like yours. For so long, you've encountered mirror connections that stirred your soul but left your heart wounded. You've faced lovers and soulmates who reflected your inner child's ache, your unhealed traumas, your deepest fears about love and worth. And although those connections were sacred too, in the way that all mirrors are, they left you in cycles, highs and lows, intensity without stability, passion without peace. You were always the one diving deep, healing the wounds, clearing the cords, transmuting the pain. And even though you became stronger, wiser, more self-aware, there's a part of you that wondered, will there ever be someone who meets me here, in this healed, integrated version of myself? And the answer coming through is yes. Because now, Divine Feminine, you are being met by someone who doesn't pull you backward into your wounds, but stands beside you as a reflection of your growth. This isn't about healing through chaos. This is about healing through presence, through safety, through joy, through shared purpose and shared peace. This is what I mean when I say healthy mirroring. Because instead of triggering each other into shutdown, You awaken each other into expansion. You bring out the most luminous parts of each other's souls. And even when shadows arise, it doesn't feel like a threat. It feels like an invitation to deepen, to understand, to hold space, to grow together. That's why the image that came through so strongly was of an embrace, not a fleeting hug, but a soul-deep holding. It's the kind of connection where a single moment of silence between you speaks more than hours of conversation. It's the kind of connection where physical touch becomes a spiritual experience, not because it's romantic, but because it's safe, because it's sacred, because you finally feel like there's room for all of you. Your softness, your strength, your wisdom, your wounds. And they don't flinch. They stay. They see it all and choose you more deeply. This masculine doesn't just admire your light, he is moved by it, and not in a way that makes him feel less than or overwhelmed. He is inspired by it. It calls him forward. He doesn't want to dim your power or contain your divinity. He wants to honor it, to grow with it, to become more of himself in the presence of your truth. That's why I said this is a life-changing kind of love, because it's the first time you've both had the space, the readiness, and the soul maturity to actually walk into this together, not as half-healed versions of yourselves clinging to potential, but as whole beings who are willing to show up, to be present, and to build something sacred. And what's even more beautiful is that the love you're experiencing, or soon will experience, doesn't demand that you lose yourself. It doesn't push you out of your alignment or make you question your intuition. In fact, it deepens your connection to Source, because this person sees your light and reflects it back with love, not resistance. That's what makes this so different. This masculine isn't intimidated by your radiance. He's in awe of it. And in your presence, he finally feels what it means to be held emotionally, spiritually, energetically, in ways he's never known were possible. So when I say you're going to check everything off their checklist, I don't just mean physical traits or compatibility. I mean the unspoken things. The way your energy calms them, the way your words remind them of who they are, the way your presence makes them feel like they're home. And the wildest part, you're going to feel it too. Because this time, the connection is mutual, the love is stable, and the timing, divine. Divine feminine, I want you to breathe that in. You're not too much. You never were. You were just waiting for the soul who could hold space for all of you. And now, that soul is arriving, or has already arrived. And everything you've been through, the heartbreaks, the lessons, the inner work, it all led here, to this. Divine Feminine. The card that just revealed itself is the Hierophant. And as soon as it came through, I got chills, because it mirrors the very vision I just received. That sacred cathedral, that breathtaking sanctuary, filled with stained glass light and silence so pure, it feels like spirit itself is breathing. That's exactly what this card is: sacred, reverent, holy. And that is exactly how this masculine feels when they come into your presence. It's not just attraction. It's not just love. It's reverence. It's the feeling of stepping into something so divinely orchestrated, they have no choice but to pause, to breathe, to feel the weight of it in their soul. This connection isn't casual, it's a soul remembrance. When they're around you, they feel like they've entered holy ground. There's something in the way your energy holds itself, so grounded, so still, so intuitive, that they don't just admire you, they respect you. You'll see it in their eyes, in the gentle way they speak to you, in how their actions align with every word they say. There's a sacredness in how they treat you, not out of obligation, but because something in their spirit knows you're different. They've never experienced this kind of alignment before. And truthfully, neither have you. Because what sets this masculine apart isn't just the peace they bring, but how they bring it. Their energy doesn't make you anxious or confused. You don't feel like you have to decode them, chase clarity, or second-guess their intentions. You feel calm, still, at home. And it's because everything about them matches. Their actions, their energy, their words, their intentions. It's all in harmony. It feels right. And for someone like you, who's walked through the fire of misaligned love, this kind of harmony is more than comforting. It's healing. You've known the fragmented masculine, the ones whose words never quite matched their eyes, the ones who said the right things, but whose energy made you feel unsettled, the ones who couldn't hold your light, so they tried to dim it, and you've questioned yourself because of that, doubted your inner knowing, silenced the very instincts that were trying to protect you, but not anymore. This journey has brought you back to your power, and this time you trust what you feel. And that's what makes this current chapter so powerful, because now you can feel the difference. You know what peace feels like. You know what alignment sounds like. You recognize that sacred stillness. It's the way your nervous system doesn't brace around them, the way your heart opens naturally, not out of hope, but out of knowing. This is your divine intuition speaking, and it's telling you, this is safe, this is sacred, you're being held here. The Hierophant showing up is confirmation that this connection is not just romantic, it's spiritual. It's not here to test you or teach you painful lessons. It's here to honor everything you've become. It's here to mirror your healing. And through this connection, you're not just seen, you're respected, cherished, revered. This masculine recognizes the divine within you. And they're not intimidated by your strength. They're in awe of it. And what's even more powerful is that you've now come to a place in your life where you recognize this too. You see through the masks. You feel the truth beneath the surface. And you no longer second-guess your inner guidance. You know what resonates in your soul. And that intuitive wisdom is your superpower. So even if this person hasn't fully stepped in yet, even if you're still navigating your way forward, you're doing so from a place of power, clarity, and deep inner trust. Divine Feminine, this is the sacred path you've been preparing for. And now you're not just walking it, you are the living embodiment of it. You are the sanctuary. You are the cathedral. And the love that enters your life now must meet you with the same reverence, presence, and devotion that you've already shown yourself. Divine Feminine, the last card I just pulled for you is the Magician, and I could feel it even before I turned it over. There's a pulse in the energy right now, a moment of alignment, of remembering. And this card, it's all about that truth. You are the one who holds the power. You always have. The power to shift, to rise, to choose, to manifest what has always been meant for you. And it's not something outside of you. It's within. The magician shows up when you're being reminded of your ability to rewrite what was once programmed into you. Those patterns, those beliefs, those inherited stories that told you you had to wait to be chosen, that you had to dim your light to be accepted, that love would only come if you proved your worth. None of that is true. And this card is proof that you're rewriting it all. You see, from a very young age, so many divine feminines, maybe even you, were gently and sometimes harshly taught to disconnect from their own inner power. It didn't happen all at once. It happened quietly, in small moments of silencing your own knowing, smiling when you felt like crying, shrinking when your spirit longed to expand. And without even realizing it, your subconscious picked up these messages, messages that said, play small, be good, be chosen. But now you're choosing yourself. You're seeing how those old beliefs no longer fit the woman you are becoming. The magician enters your reading as a powerful reminder that your subconscious is not your prison, it is your playground, and you can rewire the whole thing. That's the gift of where you are now. You're no longer asking the world to give you permission. You're giving it to yourself. You're not waiting for love to knock. You are becoming the vibration that attracts it. You're no longer pleading with the universe. You're dancing with it. This card is confirmation that every shift you've been making, whether through quiet meditation, inner work, or simply choosing new thoughts, is working. You're not just healing, you're creating. And the energy you're stepping into now, it's magnetic. People will feel your shift before they even speak to you. The way your energy moves now, it speaks for you. It opens doors. It pulls the right love, the right experiences, the right timelines into your life, not by force, but by frequency. This is what makes you powerful, divine feminine. Not because you've become someone else, but because you've remembered who you've always been. You were never broken, just buried under layers of noise, expectations, and old coding that didn't belong to you. But now, you're clearing it. You're choosing thoughts that support you. You're aligning with your highest truth. And you can feel it, can't you? That quiet confidence rising in you. That sense of, I am allowed to shine. That's the magician working through you. So the message here is simple but life-changing. Keep going. Keep choosing yourself. Keep honoring your feelings. Keep creating from the inside out, because the version of you that you're becoming, she's not waiting for life to give her permission. She's the one holding the wand, writing the spell, and walking through doors that once felt locked. You're not waiting for love. You're becoming love. You're not waiting for alignment. You are alignment. And the life you're creating from that place of self-trust, self-worth, and soul-powered intention, it's already on its way to you. Okay, this feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. What we've seen here is a reminder that your energy is powerful, your journey is guided, and spirit is always working in ways you may not fully see yet. Trust that what is meant for you will always find its way, and you don't need to chase. Just allow yourself to stay aligned and open. If you feel called to dive deeper, the exclusive and extended version of our readings are available right now on Patreon and through YouTube memberships. That's where we really expand on these messages and explore the layers that spirit couldn't fit into this space. Also, don't forget to check out the community posts and today's energy reading updates. I love connecting with you there and hearing how these messages meet you in your own journey. Drop your comments below, share your personal requests, and let me know how this reading spoke to you. And if you'd like to keep the energy flowing, I've linked some other videos here that I know will guide and encourage you. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.